Okay, guys, so I've come out of retirement. I promised I wasn't going to make any more videos about Meghan and Harry, but South Park, they've got me out of retirement because I actually predicted this. I couldn't quite find a video. Anyone that's seen a lot of my videos and got a photographic memory and can remember everything, point to the video where I actually predicted that South Park will eventually do a spoof on them because they're getting so ridiculous, it's comical. Right, so South Park did do a spoof on him, and it was hilarious. So they started off with the royal wedding, and then basically, I was actually the funeral of the Queen, and they basically got upset that nobody liked him, so they said they're going to move to Canada. So off they go, and they're on Good Morning Canada here, and Harry was, or the person that's representing Harry, the prince, is promoting his book. So he's like a crying little baby. And they all go out in a huff and they end up doing their worldwide privacy tour. So they're in Paris, they're in basketball matches. They're basically everywhere. They're in India, on the snow fields. Ended up in Australia as well amongst the kangaroos. So it was quite hilarious. So, meantime, Kyle was trying to improve his image. So he went to this place called Come Hammer Brand Management. And I looked into this because I thought that's a very unusual name for a for a brand management company. So I was trying to figure out why would South Park do this. So I actually looked into it, and I've come up with that there is actually a tool called a Come Hammer, a Come Breaker, Come Demolition Hammer, rotary hammer here. And so I think somebody must have pointed this out to him at one point, or they just came across it and they thought, who the hell would brand their tool with this name, right? I was looking at what CUM means in like the building industry. It's like cubic meters, so maybe there's some sort of relationship there between cum and cubic meters. So, but it's really not a great name to name your product. And I think that was a spoof there, right there, that they cottoned onto that and thought this is a great name for a brand management, a PR company, because it's so ridiculous, right? So I think that's why they called it Come Hammer Brand Management, because it's something that you wouldn't call your company, right? So, and I thought that was quite funny. And it goes on about, so Carl's got he goes in there and they've rebranded Carl, and you'll notice that the last thing on the list is victim, and this is the theme that plays out throughout the whole program is when you're rebranding yourself, you need to rebrand yourself as a victim, right? So Kyle's going to be wealthy, handsome, multi-talented, Grammy award-winning victim, right? So that was quite hilarious. Anyway, so Meghan and Harry, well, the characters that are meant to represent Meghan and Harry, the Prince and Princess of Canada, they arrive in South Park. They're thinking, oh, this is fantastic for our brand. We're going to get lots of privacy here. And, of course, they light up their house like a Christmas tree, and they got drums, and they got, like, fireworks happening there, and they're letting them off in the middle of the night. And so everyone knows that they're there. And meanwhile, they're saying, leave us alone, respect our privacy, go away. And it's just totally amazing. They're just totally roasting Meghan and Harry here. And of course, they bring out they're playing a polo match. Meghan's got a megaphone out and screaming that she wants her privacy. And drum kit, everything. He's playing polo. The polo ball eventually goes through Kyle's window. He's had enough. He calls the police, etc. And charades happen there. So anyway, Kyle comes back home one day, and he sees all these magazine articles all plastered over his door in front of his house, and this sort of represents what we're experiencing now, where we can't get away from them. They're just everywhere. Like even when you're trying to get away from them, he's like Kyle's trying to rebrand himself as really cool and doesn't care about anything, and he's just been bombarded by all these magazine articles, magazine covers, and you see there this great spoof on all the magazine articles, magazine covers. You got the card and everything. Apparently, Vogue was Princess Catherine's cover, and of course, Meghan likes to steal things. There's also one called Princess Anus, because it's a play on words of the Princess Annus Horribilis, so her bad year, and they've just taken the Horribilis out and just called her Princess Annus. So play on words of anus, and just totally roasting Meghan and Harry here, doing a fantastic job. Anyway, Cole turns around, and lo and behold, what does he see? He sees Meghan and Harry, or the people who are playing Meghan and Harry, the spoof here, and they're looking out the window, seeing what the reaction is. And of course, there was no reaction, so I didn't do the screenshot. Anyway, Prince Harry comes over and he takes his todger out and starts squeegeeing it on Carl's window, and Carl's ignoring him, and Prince Harry gets more upset. So that was quite interesting as well. So near the end of the episode, what happens is Meghan and Harry, I'm just going to call them Meghan and Harry, or the people playing Meghan and Harry, they turn up at Come Hammer brand management here, and they've got all the he's branding Meghan as well. First of all, he says that you're not in our database. He goes, oh no, she started off in LA as a child, so so there's sort of alluding to that she always wanted to be famous, and she had a brand even when she was a child. She wrote to Procter and Gamble apparently, or I think the whole class did, and we won't go into that. But it's got things like here, sorority girl, and I think she glue the eyelashes of some sorority girl together, and that caused a bit of controversy. Actress, influencer, and of course victim, the main one, victim, right at the end. And I think it's quite ironic that they've put victim right at the bottom, but it's really a spoof that, that's the main thing, because it's a theme throughout all the brand management. That is the main thing that they're focusing on, victim, right? Very, very clever. On the side, it's got the, probably won't be able to read it there, but it's got yoga, calligraphy, cuisine, writing, lifestyle, advocating, acting, first lady botherer, lawyer, pretending, blogging, feminism. And so it's quite interesting. But we'll get into why I think Meghan and Harry are hypocrites, because back in 2011, they did a spoof on Kate and William's wedding, and basically really spoofing about the traditions, like the royal traditions, the British traditions, and they made up this tradition where they're in some what was it, tapioca pudding, was it? No, it was something else. And it's just pudding, sweet pudding, and they dip their arms in, they wipe it off, and that sort of thing. And so you sort of think that wasn't too bad. And then what happened was, right at the end, there was a tradition of ripping Kate's arm off, and then what happens is he inserts it in his bum, right? And this got me thinking. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, when did this thing about pegs, because this is representing pegging, you see, so I'm sort of thinking, when did this thing about pegging start? And so I went and did a little bit of research here, because that's very unusual how that sort of ties in with what happened when Meghan was around. I don't think this is a coincidence, guys. Bear with me here. Let's run through this. So we've got the thing here. So the cum hammer was, if you don't know what a dick is by now, you're in a lot of trouble, blah, blah, blah. So that was quite interesting how it's basically, there's a dual meaning. The Urban Dictionary saying that cum hammer means you're a dick. All right, so you're rebranding yourself, you're a dick, right? Which I didn't put in. So the Express is saying about they should be concerned, South Park, but we'll get into this pegging thing. So I did a Google search on who started the Prince William pegging rumor, and lo and behold, there's around, because so many things happen, guys. I can't remember any of this stuff. Like I just heard about it. You just hear about it in the ether. So this is around July 2022. So just last year, it's only around 6 months old. And I've got a theory. I think Meghan actually watched South Park and actually started this rumor and got the pegging idea from the South Park episode. Just a wild speculation here, but I think maybe that's what happened. What do you guys think? Do you think this is all tied in? Of course, bringing another woman who is Rose Hanbury, woman tied to Prince William. Prince William rumors fuel online searches about pegging. Prince William pegging rumors is not the kind of viral thing you want. Blah blah blah. Everyone's calling Prince William the Prince of Pegging. So I think this is an out and out attack on William and Kate by Meghan and the Sugars. Just a theory, just a wild speculation here, but I wouldn't put it past them. And I think they got the inspiration from South Park. How ironic is that? That South Park are extracting their revenge now. If this is true, South Park are extracting their revenge. Maybe South Park were aware of this. Maybe that's why they did this episode as well. Maybe it was part of the motivation. It's like, how dare you use our ideas? Because, as we know of Meghan, nothing she ever does is original, is it? It's always stolen from somewhere. So this sort of fits into the framework of how she operates. That get the pegging thing from South Park and just run with it, and create a story about William and slanderize him and that sort of thing. And yeah, the ironic thing is that even though this was back in 2011, even though this was pretty much disgusting and very slanderous against William and Kate, don't think they sued him. Whereas the rumors are that the lawyers are going to get involved with so this was a pudding episode, 11th of May 2011. Rumors abound that the lawyers are going to be called in, and they're looking at lawyers are looking into South Park after Sussex is ruthlessly attacked in new series. And it just sort of all fits in, doesn't it? It's very ironic how they're doing this, and South Park basically said that Prince Harry is a little baby, wah, 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 wahing. That was the title of his book, not Spare. It's wah, 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 cry baby. And is always playing the victim. It all ties in quite nicely. I think that's where I'll leave my video. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Meghan and the Sussexes, the Sussex squad, you think maybe they got the pegging idea from South Park? I don't think anyone's mentioned this before, so this could be an exclusive on my channel that I picked this up. What do you guys think? Leave your comments below. You know the drill, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.